Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kenisha if you already don't know. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving book recommendations based on my favorite Taylor Swift songs. I have a lot of favorite songs, and so these are just the ones that I feel like I listen to religiously. Like, these are my favorites. They're not from like every single album because this video would be too long. Honestly, this video would be too long. So I just picked a couple from her new album, some from her older albums-ish. I love Taylor Swift so much. Clearly, I'm wearing like the Speak Now cardigan. I love her so much. I literally listen to her music religiously. She's also on the wall right up there. And I was lucky enough to go to the Eras tour in Seattle last year, and that was so much fun. I'm hoping I could go to the Vancouver shows. I'm not too sure, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, let's get into the video. So I have my trusty iPad with my notes that I made with certain lyrics and which books I align with these songs, just so I'm more organized. So the first book we have is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I have talked about this book so many times. I love this book so much. It has made me obsessed. It's just, I love these characters so much. I feel like they're relatable. So the song I picked is This Is Me Trying. Obviously, I was gonna pick a different song, but I feel like This Is Me Trying is such a perfect song for both characters, not just one character. And the lyrics I picked out from this song are, I didn't know if you cared if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. And I feel like that is just the definition of Marianne and Connell. Because of their lack of communication, it feels like they both think that they don't care about one another, but in reality they care about each other so much, but they're not able to like communicate that with one another. And then I also have, it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. It's hard to be any days when all I want is you. You're a flashback in a film reel on the one screen in my town. And I feel like this is like almost like when they keep meeting each other over and over again, even if they're around friends, and there's like a lot of like scenes where they are around friends, they feel like they're almost like a burden to each other. And being an open wound like at a big party too, it's just, oh my god, it's just the perfect lyrics. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm really bad at explaining, but that's how I see it in my mind. Next we have is King of Sloth by Anna Huang. This is the fourth book in the King of Sin series, and I picked Midnight Rain for this one. First of all, it is literally the first song in this book that Anna made. So because she has a playlist for these books, Midnight Rain is literally the first one. And I also agree, like, he was sunshine, I was Midnight Rain. I feel like that defines Xavier and Salone so much. Salone is like almost like his PR manager, person that she is gonna look after, because Xavier is such like a bad boy. Like, he likes to go to parties, clubbing, like all of that, doing bad things. And Salone kind of has to keep him in check because he's just like crazy. And Salone obviously is more of like the grumpy, and then Xavier is more sunshine because obviously he's more chill and everything. I love this book so much. There's a bit of forced proximity because obviously they work together too as well, and I love it so much. I just love. I think this might be my favorite book in the King of Sin series. I'm not too sure, but right now at the moment it is. Next we have is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I love this series so much. I just have one more book in the Magnolia Parks books, not the Daisy Hates, because that one, Daisy Hates, is still going to be ongoing, but Magnolia Parks is officially done with the last book, and I have it on my shelf and I'm so scared to read it. But the song I picked is So Long London, and So Long London obviously is such a sad song overall. Like, my heart breaks every time I listen to that song, and I feel like that song just resonates with Magnolia and BJ so much. Like, oh my god. The lyrics I picked, you say I abandoned the ship but I was going down with it. I feel like that's so similar with Magnolia and BJ, because even though it seems like BJ is going through so much, Magnolia is also going through a lot at the same time for what BJ did to her. And I feel like he doesn't realize that. You know what I mean? He doesn't realize that he's hurting Magnolia in just such like a physical, mentally, and emotionally way. he doesn't see it. Magnolia has to kind of like hold herself together because she's also kind of in the spotlight. Like they're very like socialites in London, like high society or something like that. So obviously they're in the media, like a lot of people know who they are, so Magnolia has to hold like herself as like this person that doesn't go through anything and pretend that everything is okay when in reality it is not okay. And then another lyrics, I'm just getting color back into my face. I feel like BJ and her are constantly on and off, and the second that, you know, they're off and Magnolia is doing fine, BJ somehow comes back into her life and finds a way to kind of almost destroy everything she just built. And Magnolia just wants to move on, and it's just, oh my god, the song is just perfect for them. Like if you just listen to the song, you just realize, you're like, wow, this is Magnolia and BJ coded. And then obviously the last lyric, I'm just mad as hell because I love this place for so long, London. I feel like obviously that lyric has kind of like a double meaning to it, because Taylor's last relationship was a long-term relationship, and BJ and Magnolia have loved each other since they were basically children. It's almost saying that like they love this person for so long, but they also love the place where they met, like where they bonded, where they grew their relationship, where they grew their friendship and everything like that. And yeah, it's just, oh my god, I just love that song so much, and I love this book. I just love it so much. The next book I have, I don't know where my physical copy is. I like literally no idea where it is, but it is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I love this book so much. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I think, might be one of my favorite reads this year. I'm not too sure yet, but we'll see. And the song I picked is The Bolter. I love this song so much. I love this song so much. It resonates with me in such like a deeper level, and The Bolter fits perfectly with Addie's life. So the lyrics is, excellent fun so you get to know her, then she runs like it's a race. All her fucking lives flash before her eyes. There's escape in escaping. If you read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, you could kind of see how these lyrics resonate with Addie so much. But if you don't know, Addie basically makes a deal with kind of like the devil, kind of have like her life go on forever because she wants to escape the family situation that she is having at the moment, and she feels like she just wants to like be able to see the world, not be stuck in one place, especially the fact that she was going to be in like an arranged marriage and she didn't want that. So when she makes the deal, everyone kind of forgets Addie when she meets her, so she kind of has to like live multiple lives. Like she lives so many lives, and I feel like all her fucking lives flash before her eyes. Like all her lives, Addie lives multiple lives because she's been alive for, I think it was like almost like 300 years. So it's like perfect. And obviously she has to like constantly be like escaping and leaving places because eventually everything starts to change throughout the world, because it starts from like almost like the 1800s, I think, and it goes more into the present time, kind of like in the 2000s. So obviously the world's changing, she's constantly need to move and everything. So perfect song for Addie. Love that. The next book we have is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I love this series so much. I love this series so much. I love Jax. I love Evangeline. I love the fairy tale, whimsical, magical world that Stephanie built in this book. I just love it so much. And the song I picked is The Prophecy. And The Prophecy also is one of my favorite songs. I just love that song so much. The lyrics, I've been on my knees, change the prophecy, don't want money, just someone who wants my company. I feel like that's almost similar to both Evangeline and Jax. You may not see it much with Jax. He seems like a very like annoying and everything. Like he doesn't seem like he doesn't want anyone's company, but in reality he does want someone's company. And Evangeline also wants like almost her like dream fairy tale to happen. Like she wants a prince to be saving her, all of that, like all the typical fairy tale stories you've heard. That is exactly what Evangeline is. Like that is her. Just perfect. I just love this book so much. Please read it if you haven't. Next we have is The Deal by L. Kennedy. This is the first book in the off-campus series, and the song I picked is So High School. I did like a little TikTok video of this with the aesthetic, and it was, when I first heard the song, I was like, this book is perfect. This book is perfect. Miss L. Kennedy also agrees because she reposted my video. So yeah, that I was surprised when I found out. You know how to ball, I know Aristotle. That's the lyrics. I know that he plays hockey, and technically it's not a ball, it's a puck. I think it still fits because you know how to ball, not Aristotle. I feel like it's gonna be any like sports romance, like it's gonna fit into any sports romance. But I feel like with Hannah and Graham it fits perfectly because I feel like The Deal is such like an OG book talk book, and the purpose of So High School is that it feels nostalgic. That's why there's like mention of American Pie, a mention of Grand Theft Auto. It feels very nostalgic, and also it gives like almost like that 80s like 90s high school like rom-com feel. I feel like that's exactly what Hannah and Graham kind of embodied. Obviously Hannah helps tutor Garrett and he plays hockey, and I think it's just perfect. I think it just fits perfectly with So High School. The next book we have is The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is the second book in the Windy City series, and this follows Ryan and Indy, and the song I picked is Sweet Nothings. The lyrics, outside they're push and shoving, you're in the kitchen humming, all you ever wanted from me was sweet nothing. And I feel like that is perfect for Ryan and Indy because first of all, Ryan is this like very popular, very famous NBA player, and Indy is kind of just like a flight attendant. Obviously Ryan deals with so much from like the media and all the paparazzi, all the cameras, and you know there's just a lot of pressure, and he feels like you're kind of like bringing someone into that world, like they really wouldn't understand, especially if they're not around that often. But Indy, obviously she's not around that often, but I feel like brings some type of normal to the relationship where he can almost just be himself when they're at the apartment, and feel like he doesn't have to like bring a persona or like hide himself as a person. Like he is able to express himself as a person to Indy because all she wants is just him. Like all she wants is him at the end of the day. And also I feel like the acts of service in this book, it just works with sweet nothings. Like it's just like the little details that Brian does for Indy, the way she doesn't really have to ask him to do anything, he kind of just like knows and he just does it for her out of just like acts of service. Obviously that's such a big love language, and I love this book so much. And the next book we have is The Firefly Lanes by Kristen Hanna. I love this book so much. It is so good. I love Tully and Katie. I love the friendship. This is like the definition of girlhood in a book. And I picked the song I'm Only Me When I'm With You, and the lyrics, I know everything about you, I don't want to live without you, and I don't try to hide my tears, my secrets, and my deepest fears. Through it all, nobody gets me like you do. And I feel like Tully and Katie are just the definition of that. You basically follow these two young girls, like very young. They're probably like going into like they're like middle school, going to high school, and they meet each other for the first time when Tully like moves to Katie's like neighborhood, and they realize they kind of have like a special connection, and they spent most of their years together, like literally from childhood to adulthood. Basically Tully and Katie are the girls that are inseparable, like they are never not together, and they go through a lot with their relationship, their friendship. They're going through so much with their like family as well. So it's a lot in this book, and I feel like it's such a good book about friendship and just kind of like being there for each other no matter what the situation is. Next we have is A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. This is such a cute, whimsical little book that I love so much. And basically our main character Eileen, she somehow stumbles across her favorite romance book, Small Town. So she's in her favorite romance book, Small Town, like she's in her favorite book, which is, I think, such a reader's dream overall. And I'm so happy that Ashley Poston wrote something like that, because I haven't really seen that concept before, and I just loved it so much. And the song I picked is I Hate It Here, which I think is such a good song. I know it created like controversy on Twitter, but y'all just didn't like look at the next lyrics, because it kind of just explains exactly what she was trying to say. The lyrics I picked: I hate it here, so I will go to secret gardens in my mind. I'll save all my romanticism for my inner life, and I'll get lost on purpose. This place made me feel worthless. Eileen at that point was already like going through a lot in her real life. Like, she was going through a lot, and she was supposed to go on this book club trip with like a bunch of her book club friends and also one of her best friends, but all of them kind of like, they didn't bail out, but they like were busy and everything like that. So Eileen just decides to go by herself, but she also feels like her life is like not good at the moment, and she feels almost like kind of lonely, obviously. And her romance book, like this book series that she reads in this book, she loves the characters so much. Like, they're all relatable to her, it fits perfectly with her, and she just loves them so much. And when she does get stuck into the world, like, she realizes, does she like just want to stay here, or like will she want to leave at some point? She just hates the outside world, like she doesn't want to go back to reality. So yeah, love this book so much. Next we have is Twisted Games by Anna Huang. Clearly I love Anna Huang books. I just love them so much. And Twisted Games, I think, is one of my favorites. And Reese, and I think that's how you say his name, Reese and Bridget are just perfect. This is like a princess and bodyguard romance, and the song I picked is I Can See You, which when it first came out, I was shocked when it first came out, because the lyrics are very like a little bit raunchy, like very sexy a little bit. I think a lot of people didn't really expect that from Taylor Swift, especially during the Speak Now era. Picked We Kept Everything Professional, but if something's changed, it's something I like. Pass me a note saying meet me tonight, then we kiss, and you know I won't ever tell. Obviously, being a bodyguard and princess, they have to keep it a secret, you know, because obviously he's the bodyguard for her. So as she's the princess, like, she's such a big thing in this world. They can't really like each other, but overall they do like each other. And when they do finally eventually get together, they have to keep it a secret. It's like, not let everyone know, because it's gonna be such a big deal when it comes out. Love this book so much. The next we have is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. Jacob and Brianna are just perfect for one another. I just love this book so much. Like, it was such a good book, and I understand why we love Abby Jimenez now. I understand why, because this is so freaking good. But the song I picked is Begin Again. I feel like this is perfect for Brianna and Jacob, because both of them have gone through some serious relationships that have ended. When they meet each other, they realize that like maybe love could actually like happen again. And the lyrics I picked: I've been spending the last 8 months thinking all love ever does is break and burn and end, but on a Wednesday in the cafe I watched it begin again. Like, literally the perfect song for these two. Love it. The last book I picked is God of Pain by Rena Kent. This is like the second book in the Legacy of God series, and I love this book so much. Anakin and Creighton, I think that's how you say his name, are, I don't know why, I just love them so much. It was just so good. It was just so good. But the song I picked is But Daddy, I Love Him. This song is so good. Like, oh my god. The outro for the song is also so good. Like, everything about it is just so good. Like, I just love that song so much. I could listen to it on repeat. Especially the part where, like, screaming, but daddy, I love him, I'm having his baby. And she's like, no, I'm not. She absolutely gagged all of us. The lyrics I picked is, they slammed the door on my whole world, the one thing I wanted. No, I'm not coming to my senses. I know he's crazy, but he's the one I want. I'll tell you something about my good name. It's mine alone to disgrace. I don't cater to all these vipers dressed in impact clothing. I feel like that's just the perfect song for Annika and Creighton. Annika and Creighton, their families are kind of like enemies. This is kind of like a mafia romance. There's some type of tension between the two families, and obviously Annika's family doesn't want her to see Creighton anymore, but she loves him so much that she is willing to do whatever it takes. Doesn't matter, because she just wants to be with him no matter what. Her dad and her mom are the ones are saying that, like, no, like, you can't see him, like, he's bad news, he comes from this family, like, he's not good for you, like, you need to be married to someone that I picked because she's the mafia princess. It's just a lot. I loved it so much though, and this song is just perfect for them. Anyways, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I didn't ramble on for so long, because I feel like I just rambled on. I got too excited. I love Taylor Swift so much, clearly. Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.